All right, so today we're working on, just more of the same exact concepts that come up with just normal four finger playing. And doing things like not seesawing is facilitating our ability to do hammer-ons and slides and so forth, and that's what we need to get you moving more towards, is playing like real bass lines rather than just getting to the right notes or whatever, because it's not like this deductive reasoning problem to figure out how to do that. Otherwise, we would just use our first finger for everything. It totally sounds different to go. And that's why we play stringed instruments, is so we can do stuff like that and so forth. It's not like the reason, but you know what I mean. So anyway, but our first thing is positional, and you already sort of know it. Day trip, where it all occurs down here. Every time you've had any success with it, it was you were like kind of doing this, and then you were like, okay, fine, and got into this position. So that's the whole trip. It's really not that different to be at the 5th fret and the 2nd fret. Generally speaking, let's make our strategy for this song that all of your 2nd fret notes are going to be really close to this fret, and the other ones, it doesn't matter. Doing this is something that you're doing subconsciously, like visually think 2nd fret, but if you were there, it's a lot easier to do that. So before we even try stuff, I think, just going like just things like that, and then working on like just basic kind of go over some of these hand movements before you even try to play anything in particular. Just kind of like, okay, I'm keeping my index finger down, but the material is going to take care of that on its own. So day tripper, we've got these, and the trip is going to be to not change your entire arm position there. So even if you just get, and this one buzzes, which I just did deliberately, not fully doing that. And it's going to be somewhere between, exactly like that, though that would be optimal. Then we've got this open note that we can use, if you'd have bunched up a little bit, like that much, you've got this open note to spread back out, and then just, and that's why we had the part that I actually highlighted is like starting at the 4th note, as though we've already gone, just right there, not worrying about right hand or anything. Getting that successfully, the rest is considerably easier. So on the back of the page, I wrote like a grocery list for how to work on this. First we're just doing the whole thing, going through it, and then number 2, the focus, that's the part that we were just talking about, and I did draw little asterisks over. And then, trying the whole thing with rhythm super slow until you can actually do that. Real tempo with just the E, 1 good 1, 2 good ones loop, and then, working on switching to A, which is the same thing here. And just making sure that you don't go like radically different when you switch to that. It's really just the same thing. Or just your thumb will move, but just the same amount as the rest of your hand. So there's Day Tripper. So, just now that we've been talking about left hand, right hand wise, though we haven't emphasized this much, coupling so one of the things is you're a little overly focused on using your fingertips in every situation versus these spots where we kind of, at least they spread out, but we flop down to help with tone control, and that's something that we do a lot more on bass than we do on guitar. Let me just get my next student to chill, as I did with you mid-video, and we will finish up. Hi. I need like 5 minutes here for my student. Thanks. And back we go. So there, Day Tripper, there you go. It's you know how to play. But let's just think of it as an exercise. So Manic Depression sounds like this. That's the intro. He just goes chromatic, A to B, D to E. So you want to feel like you're pushing down with all 3 fingers, and then he goes. And that's where we got to. So let's just zero in on doing that well. Where your index finger is already chilling, so it's going to feel like both fingers are on the string, where you don't have to more. So right hand wise, when we're doing that part, fingers need to be straight so that we're going. Let's just zero in on right hand with open strings. The thing that was presenting difficulty was the A still ringing out. So if your fingers are in normal position, not like this, then you're gonna go and it'll it's real. We're going. That's what we're doing right now. So if that's seeming difficult, just zero in on that part on its own for the again, it's like I'm just muting that string naturally by not being. It's the complete opposite of what we do on guitar, achieving the complete opposite effect. That being we cut off the note rather than keeping it ringing out, because we tend to be like on guitars and on bass. Cool. So anyway, there's this. So, and the verse goes. And then back to and that's a real good one for you to work on. Rhythm, whatever. This, that's first, third, fifth, first, third, fifth. I'm just calling the intervals, and then it's go. Except right where I think it's four of them. And then it's manic depression is catching us. Cool. So there you are. Can't emphasize enough, de-emphasizing rhythm.